Hello and welcome to this session of the 2020 Career Day. You are watching the elementary education session, and I am more than excited to kind of talk you through what it looks like and what you can expect if you choose to become an elementary education teacher. So I'm going to share my screen. So here is my cover. My name is Brianna Gear. I'm a third grade teacher, and I'm in my 7th year of teaching. A little bit about me. I grew up in York, Nebraska. I'm a teacher in Northeast Nebraska. My husband is a farmer. Together we have a daughter that is 2, and we have been married for over 3 years. Like I mentioned, I'm from York, Nebraska. I grew up riding horses in York before I left the house to go to college. I spent 3 years in Lincoln, and then I transferred to Wayne State College, and I would not change a thing. I would always choose Wayne State now because I got the best education from Wayne State. I now live in Pender, Nebraska with my husband and my daughter. I've been teaching here in Pender, in the town of Pender, this is my 3rd year, but I've been living in Pender for, 6 years or so, something like that. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Let's transition into what it might look like in my shoes. And you'll have to excuse me, I'm reading some notes and trying to make sure I let you guys know everything that I want you to know. So first and foremost, you start the day by getting organized. I might look over my lesson plans to make sure that I have everything that I'm going to need for the day. I read through them, get myself mentally organized and physically organized. I need to make sure that my lunch is updated, my date is updated, the planner is updated, my schedule is updated, all of those things that help me stay organized and helps my students really thrive on that. They ask, if I forget once, they make sure to remind me that I need to change the date or the lunch. Getting your materials ready to go. I make sure that I have everything up on my computer that I'm going to need, all of my materials organized and in order so that I'm not fumbling around, wasting time, because in the education world, there is no time to waste. Every second is precious. And if this is the route you go, you'll find that out. Every single second is a precious piece of time. So I spend the whole morning teaching, and then it's lunchtime. And when you get to lunch, obviously you get a lunch, but some days, for example, on Tuesdays, I have meetings. So I get with my grade level team, the 2nd and 3rd grade teachers, and we talk about deadlines, things coming up. This year, we've really spent a lot of time talking about a specific platform that might be used if we have to go remote. We have started in person, so we've been doing in-person teaching since August, but there are precautions we're taking, for example, getting prepared for if we have to go remote. So we've been getting ready for that, and so there's been a lot of discussion about different things about that. We kind of just bounce ideas back and forth with each other. And any, like I mentioned, deadlines, upcoming calendar dates. It's just a meeting that we get together and we talk with each other about. Then if there's no meeting or if we get done, you have emails you'll need to respond to. So I usually spend the rest of my lunchtime responding to emails, or I'm checking student work that was done in the morning. It's like I said, every second is precious, and staying organized is huge. In my school, we have blocked scheduling. So, and the specials are blocked. So every single day, our specials are at the same time. There's no special at 9:30 in the morning or 2:30 in the afternoon. My specials are going to be between noon and 1:30 every day. So they might vary a little bit between those times, but there's always a special between noon and 1:30. And then I teach some more, and then it's at the end of the day, we come in from recess and we get our backpacks packed with homework and our planners filled out, and we just kind of get ourselves organized. It's super important to make sure your students are organized as well, as you know, being sophomores. Okay, let's transition to what it looks like to become an elementary teacher. So an elementary teaching program is typically a 4-year program. So I spent my first 3 years my first 2 years at SCC pursuing a different major. And I went to the University of Lincoln to continue that major. It wasn't working for me. It wasn't a good fit. It wasn't what I loved. So that's when I transitioned to Wayne. And when I got to Wayne, they said, yeah, your credits transfer, but regardless, this program is 4 years. So even though you have credits, you still have to be here for 4 years. So make sure that you're really communicating with your guidance counselors and you're talking with them and you are really finding a good fit school for you if you choose the 4-year program route. There are awesome things with a 2-year school. That's not my point. My point is make sure that your major, you really know what you want to do. If you know what you want to do, make sure you talk with your guidance counselor to make sure you're going to the correct school for you. Through elementary education major, you are going to have a ton of classroom experience. So you will know probably by year 1 or 2 if it's not a good fit for you, because you will have so much classroom experience. 25 hours your first year, 40 your second, 40 your third, and then of course your student teaching experience your 4th year. So in order to continue to be a good teacher, you have to do a lot of professional development. And that just means going to workshops or reading research, staying up to date, basically. My district pretty much supplies or encourages us to go to any professional development we're interested in. So that's always been easy for me. In order to continue being a certified teacher, you have to renew your teaching certificate every 5 years. And I renewed mine a year ago, and in my opinion, it wasn't that difficult. So helpful skills and characteristics that you might need if you choose to become an elementary teacher. Organization. Organization is huge, huge. If you're not organized, you're making your job really hard. Now, I'm not an organized person, so just keep in mind, you don't have to be organized. I just have to work really, really hard to stay organized. So where some people have it easier to stay organized, that's how their brain works. That's not how my brain works. And I work really hard to stay organized so that I can give the best to my students. Another skill that you'll need is good communication. You are talking to colleagues constantly. You're talking to parents constantly. You're talking to students constantly. You're just talking a lot. So good communication is key, very much so. Creativity. So I believe a creative teacher makes you a really good teacher. Of course, you don't have to be creative to be a good teacher, but I think that's a good skill that a teacher could or should have. I put organization again because, like I said, it is super, super important. Empathy, because you have, 15 to 30 students that you might have in your classroom at a time, and you need to have some empathy for them, because you need to understand that they're coming from all different walks of life, and one student is very much different than the other one. So having empathy is huge if you want to be a teacher. Respect. So not only do you need to respect your students, but you have administration that you need to respect. And in my opinion, you have to respect them. That's part of your job. They are your boss and you need to respect them. So if you're a respectful person, that is an excellent skill or characteristic that you need to have. And then again, organization, because organization is huge. You have to stay organized. Teaching as a career, pros and cons. So pros are endless in my opinion. I love being a teacher. I really wouldn't change it for anything. Some pros that I've listed, you make a difference every single day. Every single day you're making a difference. I encounter 16 students in my homeroom, and I encounter 17 students in the other 3rd grade classroom. We're departmentalized. I'm the reading teacher for all of 3rd grade. And I'm making a difference, hopefully, for a lot of kids. So I think that's huge. It's a huge pro. You get to make a difference in people's lives. You get respect from others for the most part. Teaching has always been a career that has held a high standard, and people, for the most part, respect you because you are a teacher. Like I said, for the most part, there are some people who don't hold that same respect, but teaching has been a career that holds high standards. Pros, the colleagues, the people you work with, the people you get to know, the friends that you make while teaching, that is a huge pro. They become some of the people that you see them all day, every day. So they become people that you're very close with. The benefits, and what I mean by that is your your health insurance. The benefits are huge in teaching, in the teaching world. That is a huge pro. And then you get a salary. So I get a yearly salary. I get usually every month the same paycheck because I am salary. Some cons, the pay isn't fantastic, but the benefits are, and I think that's what kind of keeps people around. If you don't leave your job, you don't leave your job when you leave for the day. So like, I don't want to throw any disrespect out there, but you know, if you're working at a bank, you leave your bank at 5 o'clock and work stays at the bank. You don't bring the bank home, right? So teaching, you're bringing papers to grade home, or you're doing your lesson plans at home, or you are talking with parents. I mean, usually you're not talking parents outside the school day, but you're taking work home as a teacher, and you're coming in well before the time, or you're staying well after the time that you need to be there in order to keep yourself organized. So you can, and you should, but it's hard to leave school at school. And then I find it personally, the expectations from the community are really high. So I have to hold myself to a high standard, even when I'm at the grocery store or at the gas station. I keep that in mind, how I look or how I appear when I'm out and about, so that I'm not giving off, I don't want to say a bad look, but like, I just want to make sure that I'm always holding myself to a high standard is basically what I'm trying to say. Now that's personal, in my opinion. That is by no means it doesn't fit everybody. That's personally for me. Okay, let's talk salary. Salary, you get paid, let me move this. You get paid yearly instead of hourly. You get the same paycheck usually every month, depending on like stipends or certain things that have to get taken out, but typically you're getting paid the same amount every single month. You only get paid once a month in teaching. I don't know how that works in other salary worlds, but in the teaching world, you only get paid once a month. Excuse me. The starting salary in Nebraska has a wide range across the state. So it can start anywhere between $32,000 and $38,000, depending on which district you get hired in, if that's the route that you choose. Okay, so that's not it. There we go. Salary continued. So everyone in teaching, this is focused on teaching. So everyone starts out on the same salary scale, regardless of your teaching position. This does not include principals or superintendents. So like, I'm an elementary teacher in the classroom, so third grade teacher. I get the same salary that the special education teacher does, or I get the same salary that the PE teacher does, or the music teacher. Where it differs is we all have the same base, is what I should say. And where it differs is how many years of experience you have, or how many upper level courses that you've taken. So that's kind of, I think people don't really think about that, but regardless of if you're a special education teacher or a PE teacher or a music teacher or a classroom teaching everything teacher, you are starting on the same salary scale. How much you earn depends on the amount of experience you have. I've mentioned that. And salaries cap out on the base after 5 to 10 years. For example, my district, we cap out at 7 years. So if I don't continue my upper level courses toward my master's degree, I will not earn any more on the salary scale. I have to start taking courses for my master's degree if I want to start making more money. So advancement. So first and foremost, you must earn your graduate degree in order to do any advancement. And I'm talking like principal, superintendent, like even becoming a professor, or yes, that's all that's coming to my mind right now. But like I mentioned, the advancement opportunities include becoming a principal or a superintendent. in a district. So outside of a district, other opportunities include, and larger school districts include becoming a vice principal or assistant principal, human resources, or a curriculum director. Those are all different jobs that are available in larger districts. In the district that I'm employed in, we have a superintendent, a high school principal, and we have an elementary principal. And those are the main those are the advancement opportunities that we have in our district. Outside of a school district, you could be a professor at a college or university. So some high school courses you could take if this is the route that you choose you want to go. Writing is huge. You're going to be writing resumes and cover letters, and you need to have good writing skills in order to be noticed on paper. So writing is huge. Speech, you are speaking in front of students every single day and sometimes in front of your colleagues. So speech is another class that it's not a class, excuse me, it's a class in college, but in larger districts, I guess it could be a class, but even like going out for speech would definitely be helpful. Foreign language courses, we have diverse classrooms in the state. That's the bottom line. So having a foreign language is going to be key in some classrooms. Psychology, psychology is huge, just so that you know how the students, psyche works. And computer classes, because a lot of things are very much technology based nowadays. If you have some spare time, or if you want another job, things like that. Babysitting, it's gonna be a big one. Volunteer your time at a child care center if you're not able to get a job there. Volunteering there is still going to be a good experience. Volunteering or working at a camp. I worked at a camp for people with disabilities outside of Fremont in college. Amazing opportunity. Honestly, changed my life. Get involved in an organization such as 4-H because you are working on public speaking, networking. Those are some big things. Pretty much anything that is centered around helping you get to that point of being a good teacher, or pretty much any route that you take for your career. But speaking is huge, and knowing people and knowing how to interact with people is huge, and being good around children or students is something that you should definitely try to work or volunteer toward. Okay, my 2 cents. This is how I'm gonna kind of wrap this up. Shoot for the stars. If you wanna be a teacher and that's what you want, you need to go for it. You should not give up, because this is honestly a dream job. And if this is something that you want, you should go for it. Do not give up on it. This kind of goes for any career that you choose. You work toward it. You're gonna know if it's something that you don't want to do, and that's a different story. But if this truly is your dream, you should go for it. Work toward it, work hard, do not give up. If you do choose the education route, you need to take your clinicals seriously. I think that's a problem that a lot of younger college students don't understand. Like these clinicals, you're going to be asking these teachers for, so excuse me, I should explain a clinical. A clinical is when you go into another district, you go into a teacher's classroom and you observe them teach, and you have to teach 1 or 2 lessons, and you need to take them very seriously, because these are the teachers that you're going to be asking for letters of recommendation. You're going to be asking them for references. And if you leave a bad taste in their mouth, they're going to have a really hard time giving you that letter of recommendation. And at that point in your college career, you are scrambling for references and letters of recommendations because you haven't had as many experiences with other teachers. So take your clinicals seriously. Do not leave a bad taste in your cooperating teacher's mouth. And I know this is for sophomore students, but when you get to college and this is the route you take, do not wait for your cooperating teacher to give you direction. If you see a student that needs help, jump right in and help them, because that's a good look. So here's what I want to leave you with. As my closure, I want you to go to the link below. I want you to ask any questions you may have that I have not addressed. What are some of your takeaways to this presentation? Were you interested in this? Were you interested in a career in education before this presentation? Are you interested in a career in education after this presentation? And are you not interested in a career in education after this presentation? So please go to this link. This is not shared with anybody. It's just, I'm just curious to know how you guys feel about this career and kind of how the presentation went. This is my first time presenting, by the way. I've never done anything like this before. So thanks for your patience, I guess, because I'm sure I'm kind of all over the place, but just let me know. So that's where I want to leave you. A career in education is honestly, in my opinion, the best route anybody could go because of all the different things that are involved. So have a great rest of your day if you have a long time left on your day. And yeah, thanks for giving me your time.